Alright, what's going on, guys? Now, I feel like I've already made this video 3 times, but with the news of a PlayStation showcase happening tomorrow, I feel it's necessary to bring all of this back up. Now, I want to preface this by saying I don't have any new information for you guys. The goal of this video is to get you up to speed on everything involving Bloodborne, all the leaks and rumors, both debunked and the ones with potential, and give the context of the overall situation involving the game. Now, I also want to say I am not an insider, I'm just going off the things I find on the internet and what the legit insiders are saying. So we're going to cover all of that in this video. But as always, before we get started, I know the vast majority of you guys that watch my content are not subscribed to the channel. So if you don't mind, hit that button for me and that'll communicate to YouTube that my content is worth pushing out there. And I do my best to keep you guys up to date with all the latest Elden Ring news and every other FromSoftware game. And we talk about everything related to Dark Souls. But now let's get started. The first leak I want to talk about today that basically started this whole snowball effect is the Velvet Veil leak. Now, this leak claimed that a new Bloodborne spiritual successor was in the works at FromSoftware. Now, this leak originated from a tweet by a guy named Roncarlo Silva, who made the claim that this was going to be a PS5 exclusive, and that he received this information from a leaker who actually leaked Sekiro and Elden Ring a long time ago, Reddit user E_O. But it was quickly discovered that the Reddit user never actually said anything about this and that this was completely fabricated. And I want to make this very clear because I know there's a lot of people out there who still believe Velvet Veil is a real thing. There is absolutely no credibility to the Velvet Veil leak. And I know I've been calling it a leak, but it's just a rumor. A leak would imply that there's actually information in the first place that isn't supposed to come out but does anyway, which is why it's called a leak. And I want to point out too that a big reason this leak is claimed to be debunked is because, and I couldn't find this personally, but according to Lance McDonald, the original Reddit user that is quoted in the leak came out and said this was not true. So that's the case for Velvet Veil right now. Now let's move on to what Omnipotent had to say. For those of you that don't know, Omnipotent is the most trusted FromSoftware insider. He's proven himself time and time again with both Sekiro and Elden Ring, and here's what he had to say. Back in the string of Elden Ring leaks that he was talking about, all of which came true by the way, he made the claim that he had no knowledge about a new Bloodborne project being developed at FromSoftware. Now, going off his track record of 100% true information, to me that's a pretty big nail in the coffin for Bloodborne 2. Now, what that does not put to rest is a Bloodborne remake being developed by another studio. We very well could get that, but given the timeline of Elden Ring, I don't see that happening for a while. Now I want to move on to the next one, and that is the endless Nocturne rumor. This one's kinda weird to me. It's got a lot of red flags and almost no credibility, but it did predict the PlayStation showcase happening in September. Now if you want to go real in depth on this leak, I made a video about it a while back that I'll link in the top, but I'm not going to go into detail in this one. Basically what the leak claimed is that a Bloodborne remaster for PS5 was coming out later this year before Elden Ring, with several performance upgrades, a few area reworks, and some new weapons, one of which came straight out of the VaatiVidya art competition. Now there were a lot of red flags with this leak, like I said. First of all, I highly doubt a new FromSoftware game would come out before Elden Ring, even if it is a remaster being developed by another studio. This leak also claimed that a PC port was going to be part of the package, but we had several insiders who were well aware of the upcoming Sony PC ports, including Lance McDonald, say that Bloodborne is definitely not one of them. Now, like the Velvet Veil leak, the leaker who actually came out and said this went by the name of a source who had a credible leak in the past. But the problem with this is that the leak originated on 4chan, and with the page settings and the post no longer existing, there's no way to verify if they're actually the same person. And obviously the biggest red flag with this one is that one of the weapons was copied straight from the VaatiVidya art competition. So to me personally, this leak has no credibility as well. Unless Sony is keeping it very under wraps, Lance McDonald knows what he's talking about, and there's just too many red flags with this one. Now the next supposed rumor is very small, and it ties into what we were just talking about, and that is that a group of supposed Sony PC port testers came out and said they actually got to test the PC port for Bloodborne. Now the information for this one is very hard to find. The only legitimate place I could find anything about this was on Reddit in a mega thread, so it's very iffy from the jump. Basically how the story of this one goes is that these two testers got a handful of games from Sony to test on PC, and then they leaked this information and several of them came out to be true, but a lot of them also didn't. And then one of the testers actually came out to be a fraud, and it was found out that they were lying. Now the only shred of credibility to this is that the one that had the correct games in their first post, and before the fraud stole their list, they have not been debunked yet. Now, like I said, I cannot find this information anywhere. I can't even find the mega thread again. That might just be me. If you guys can find it, correct me in the comments. But like I said, the whole thing is just extremely sketchy, and insiders like Lance McDonald actually know what they're talking about. So I do not think a Bloodborne PC port is coming out anytime soon. Now, the final thing I want to talk about today is what Sony themselves have actually said, and what the plan for FromSoftware is for the future. Personally, I believe all of these leaks came from people who were just trying to fake this and get some attention and have a good time. I do not think any of these leaks are accurate. I'm not 100% dismissing any of these things, and that's because a lot of positive signs have come out of Sony themselves. Sony are on record saying that they want to specifically work with more Japanese developers on PlayStation exclusives. And as we know, when it comes to Japanese studios that have made PlayStation exclusives in the past, FromSoftware is definitely at the top of that list. Now, when it comes to a PC port, they are actively porting more and more of their games onto PC. I know Horizon Zero Dawn is making its way on there, and a lot of other PlayStation exclusives. So I do personally think we will see a Bloodborne PC port sometime, but according to insiders, not anytime soon. As for Bloodborne 2, I choose to go with what Omnipotent said about it. Personally, I don't think it's happening. I had hope in the past, but the biggest thing that's thrown a wrench in it for me is what Bandai said their plans for Elden Ring are. Bandai are on record saying that they want Elden Ring to be their biggest franchise. They want it to be more than just a game and to extend to different forms of media. Now, we don't know exactly what form that means. That could be a movie, that could be books, or just a big merchandise push, but that really communicates to me a sequel, because you don't call something with only one game a franchise. Now, for a Bloodborne remaster, I definitely think that's a possibility. Like I said, I don't believe the Velvet Veil or the Endless Nocturne leaks, but I think it's entirely possible that a Bloodborne remaster is already in the works. Definitely by another studio though. Anyways guys, that's pretty much all of my thoughts on it. Basically the synopsis is, none of these leaks are really credible. We don't have any accurate information about the status of a Bloodborne game coming up, and I do not think we will see anything Bloodborne related at tomorrow's PlayStation Showcase. The reason I wanted to make this video is because I've seen a lot of people talking like that. I was browsing Twitter yesterday looking at a lot of people's wish list for the showcase, and a majority of them had either Bloodborne Remastered or Bloodborne 2 on there. So I wanted to come on here and kind of quell those hopes. Honestly, I hope I'm wrong. I'm a big fan like you guys. I love Bloodborne and I would love to see a new game come out. But given all the signs and all the evidence right now, it's not looking too good. Anyways guys, that's going to pretty much do it for the video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like on it and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next one.